Hi, my name is Shuel Mir. You can call me Shu, it's less of a mouthful. Those who know me know that I rarely put myself out on camera like this. But given the situation, I feel compelled and duty bound to make this video. I'm going to tell you why you should not vote for the Labour Party. Keir Starmer is utterly shameless and spineless, and I hope to convince you of that. But before I do that, allow me a moment to reprimand and backhand some of my ancestral countrymen from Bangladesh. Those Labour loyalists who have now been spat at by Starmer. I'll try my best to avoid breaking into a Bangla rant, because everybody needs to hear this, not just the Bangladeshi community. Keir Starmer, by name, singled out the Bangladeshi community for deportation. Where the hell did that even come from? Why the Bangladeshis, one of the smallest ethnic minority groups in the UK? Let's try to understand why. Look at the platform where he racially attacked the Bangladeshi community. It was during an election event held by the Sun newspaper. A national event with national coverage in front of a specific demographic with a known political leaning. Let's cut past the BS. Starmer was appealing to a section of the white electorate that has a hardline stance on immigration, traditionally a right-wing voter that wants migrants out. Starmer identified his audience and told them exactly what they wanted to hear on a platform they have access to. He made them happy at the expense of an incensed Bangladeshi community. Starmer knew what he was doing, openly blaming the Bangladeshis, who are a few in number, in order to win favour with the far right. Then, behind closed doors, planned to make an insincere apology to the Bangladeshis, hoping that the far right would be none the wiser. That's exactly what he did. The next day, he made an appearance on ATN Bangla, which is a privately owned television channel that has a small following of British Bangladeshis. He apologised to the Bangladeshis, spoke about how it came across very wrong, blah blah blah, knowing very well that the traditional Sun reader would not come across this U-turn made on ATN Bangla. This guy is a snake, telling the right-wing voter he wants migrants out by picking on one of the smallest minority groups. He made a conscious and calculated decision to attack the Bangladeshis because they are few in number and traditionally Labour voters. He was expecting to lose only a few votes, but arrogant enough to assume that the community would sheepishly vote for him off the back of a private apology. So is that how it is? Abuse the Bangladeshis nationally and then apologise quietly and privately so your right-wing voters don't find out about it. Do you understand what's going on? To the right-wing voter, Starmer is not yours, he's not ours, he's in it for himself. Divide and rule. Do you see how slippery this man is? He's trying to gather votes by sowing seeds of mistrust and hate with lies, playing communities off one another. This is Starmer, shameless and spineless. Furthermore, I want to ask, where were the Labour MPs of Bangladeshi origin when their party leader abused the Bangladeshi community? Why didn't Rushnara Ali, Tulip Siddiq, Rupa Haq or Apsana Begum defend us? There's a word in Bangla, Beshorom. It means without shame or shameless. Do we understand? Onebuchoni, Husha Iseni, still want to vote Labour? And another thing I want to get off my chest, ATN Bangla, softball questioning. Do you think if a prominent Bangladeshi politician abused the British people, they would be allowed to speak unopposed on the BBC? What a joke. He came to you, hold him to account, fix up. Starmer's Labour is showing its true colours. Let's not forget, the last time Labour were in power, Tony Blair took the UK into an illegal war in Iraq. Tony Blair should be behind bars, and we should never have considered Labour from that point onwards. And I'll add to that, off the back of excessive Labour borrowing, the Tories have implemented years of austerity. Starmer has been bought and paid for by big business. We, the public, will become the fodder on which his cronies feed whilst he prepares for a golden retirement after he sells us out. U-turn Starmer is leaving the back door open for NHS privatisation and to tax pensioners. Labour has moved so far to the right it's blurred into the blue and taken on a shade of pompous purple, arrogantly assuming we will vote Labour because the Tories are so bad. As bad as the Tories are, that is no reason to vote for a spineless man like Keir Starmer. He has not earned your vote, nor is he capable of earning it. He is uninspiring, shameless, slippery. Understand this. The ethics and morals of our Prime Minister filter down to society. If Starmer can convince himself and you that dropping bombs on babies and withdrawing food and water is okay, then it's not very difficult to convince you to overlook the decaying and broken aspects of our own society. If for the sake of power, Starmer can turn a blind eye to active genocide, then he can quite easily ignore rampant knife crime, people queuing at food banks up and down the country, homelessness and other societal ails. For the sake of power and to satisfy his backers, Starmer doesn't care. He can't even say stop to a genocide because big business won't allow him to. Starmer is a pathetic puppet. Let's cut to the chase. A vote for a Labour candidate in your constituency is a vote for Keir Starmer himself. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'll leave you with this. No to Labour, no to Starmer. Britain deserves better.